guys, welcome to today's video. I wanted to do something a little bit different today, and I wanted to show you my very first art doll I made and one of my recent art dolls, and just compare the difference and how much practice and time can actually help you in your art and your sculpting, and the quality as well. So I started making art dolls back in 2012. So how long ago is that? 8 years ago. So 8 years is a long time to refine your sculpting and whatever you're working on. So I've always been into sculpting ever since I was little. I've always sculpted stuff, mainly dragons, because I was obsessed with dragons. But then I started making art dolls back in 2012. So my first art doll was a tiger, and I wanted it to be sort of more of a plush than anything else. And so it didn't have an armature inside of it, and I had no idea about body patterns, attaching things, basically anything really. Okay, apologies, I had to check what that was. What was I saying? Yeah, so I didn't really have any experience doing anything and working with fake fur and all that. So this is my first art doll. I still have it. It is a tiger. It's a white tiger with orange stripes. So a little further back. So it was a little bit different from what I make now. So it's more of a teddy bear style. So the face is made from this one's Sculpey, and it's got glass eyes in it, and it is attached using a cable tie. Would you believe? And sewn on as well, cable tie and sewn on. So for some reason I didn't want to use glue, because I thought glue would make it a bit crappy. But yeah, as you can see, it's floppy, it's got no armature in it. The paws are also sewn on, and they are made of Sculpey as well. So that's my first art doll. It's got a long tail, and then I did some airbrushing on the tail. I don't know how well you can see because it's faded quite a lot. And there you have it. So I actually went to a local just like store and bought a soft toy, and then I like picked it apart to see how it was constructed, and I pretty much did the same sort of pattern that I found. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty crappy, but I was pretty proud of what I'd done, because at the time there were no tutorials or anything available. It was just have a go and come up with something. So there was absolutely nothing about it. So now if you're starting out, there's plenty of tutorials around now, which help you out. Even I have some tutorials available. So yeah, but that was my first one starting out. Can't really sit up or anything, but yeah, I was pretty happy with it. And then I kept going with for the next 8 years. I refined my work. I added armatures. I started off using wire armatures first, and I actually started using super glue to attach things, and found out pretty quickly that super glue is quite brittle. So I tried different methods of attaching things, and finally setting on what I use now. And you know, after all that time as well, I've refined my sculpting quite a lot as well. My dolls have completely changed. So I'll show you one of my recent ones, which is Stag. You've probably seen it before, but it's a really good comparison for this video. So this is one of my recent dolls. So as you can see, it's completely different, and you can see how much my work has actually changed. I know I've had like comments saying that all my stuff looks exactly the same and I don't change, but you can really see that I have actually changed my style quite a lot. I've also moved away from doing certain patterns and stuff on the faces, and really just gone out and tried completely different things. So even with the glass eyes, I've moved away from painting them, and also using a wire armature, which is using a ball and socket armature, which is quite sturdy when you're posing. It's like really good compared to wire armatures, but I really want to do a video on the armatures one day, so stay tuned for that. But you can really see how well and how stable they are. So with this one, resin head, so I really ventured out and started doing it with resin. That's quite a lot to learn, so if you're not comfortable with that, you can stick to sculpting each piece. But I wanted to actually replicate my work a couple of times over, so I learned how to mold and cast just simple things. I've also added antlers as well, so I've tried sculpting my antlers, but I found, although I can sculpt them, I found them to be quite brittle, and I wanted my dolls to be a bit more robust and durable. So I have plastic antlers, so these ones I did not sculpt, but they're really tough, and you really have to give them a whack to actually break them. So I did that particular one. I also started furring my doll's face for a long time. Okay, terribly sorry, but my battery died. So what I was saying is I used to paint all of my faces and not fur them. So I actually did a lot of experimenting on how to apply the fur to the face, and finally came up with something that I liked. So yeah, that's completely different now. I've also started experimenting with casting glass eyes, which is pretty much my go-to method for creating dolls now. And I've also sort of moved away, like I said before, from the wire armature and focusing more on the ball and socket armature. I suppose things that I need to improve on is maybe body patterns and stuff. So I can't really get my head around patterning for some reason. It's kind of difficult. So probably something I need to work on, but it works for now. And you know, probably experimenting with other materials and methods of doing things as well. I have thought about moving to, well, trying out some 3D printing, but at the same time, I don't really like designing things on the computer. I like to physically sculpt things, so I'll probably stick to that because I like sculpting. It's and I don't want to lose any talent that I have, I guess, or any experience, I mean. So I like to keep myself sculpting because I like it. And a crazy cat. So yeah, this is my most recent doll. This one is looking for a home, so it is in my shop at creaturesofnat.com. So yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you like? What doll do you like? What sort of, I don't know, method do you like, or what do you like the look of? I'm not sure. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Antlers. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and give you a good insight on what my work actually looked like to begin with, and what my work looks like now, and how much I have changed. So yeah, you can head to my store at creaturesofnat.com, and you can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at creaturesofnat. and you can also support me on Patreon. So I go through a whole lot of different things, tips, and I do want to actually add some exclusive videos as well, but I need to know what people want to see for me to actually make those videos. So yeah, I'm working on my content on Patreon, so if you want to support me over there, I'll be totally grateful. And that's also at Creatures of Nat. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.